I wake up and do the same routine, the water, the tea, the green juice. I think about things that I'm grateful for. First thing in the morning, I tell myself I'm going to have a great day. At the end of the day, I'm like, thank you. I've had, I'm talk about things I'm grateful for in my mind. I also think it just makes life so much more interesting when we're happy and productive and doing things and excited to get up.
Stay connected to gratitude. Hit the follow button right now and join thousands of listeners tuning in each week. We're the Gratitude Seekers. Come join us. Hi, Gratitude Seeker. Welcome to a new episode of the Gratitude Podcast. With us today, we have a makeup artist and the CEO and founder of Pretty Girl Makeup. She has worked with some amazing people like Condoleezza Rice, Melissa McCarthy, Renee Zellweger, and many others. She's also been working with magazines that are in the high end of fashion, Vogue. She's worked with all kinds of huge brands, and most importantly for us right now is that she uses her platform to promote the importance of feeling beautiful from the inside out. She inspires women to be the best version of themselves and to overcome life's obstacles. Christina Flach, welcome to the Gratitude Podcast.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. How are you today?
My pleasure. I am great. I'm really happy to have you here, and I'm sure that we'll have an amazing conversation because aside from the short intro, I know that you are a grateful person, a person that practices gratitude. And I know that it's not always been easy for you to do that. Can you share with us a little bit more about you and about your experience with gratitude?
Yes, of course. So yes, I am a celebrity makeup artist. I am a mother of 5. I am also a beauty expert on NBC on California Live, and I'm the CEO of Pretty Girl Makeup, and I am the new CEO of a new brand I'm starting called I'm Too Busy. As we all are. And I'm a philanthropist. I help raise money for a school called the Northern Lights School in Oakland, California for underprivileged children. Education and nutrition are very important to me. And so I started raising money after my son, Bo, passed away in 17 years ago. And then for my husband, professional tennis player Ken Flach, after he passed away, I wanted them to be remembered, and I wanted to help children get an amazing education and honor them. So I think when you go through life's bumps, which we all do, I think there's like 2 ways you can go about it. You can be negative and miserable and hate the world, or you can choose to be grateful for the time that you had with that person or people, because that's why I'm grateful for having time with everyone in my life. Nothing's guaranteed. And so, just because you find someone you love or children you love, you don't know how long you have. So it's really important to be grateful for the time that you have, and honoring them by being angry and miserable is not being grateful or honoring them. So I feel that the best way that I can honor all my loved ones that have passed on is being grateful and helping other people have amazing lives.
Wow, that's so beautiful and so profound. And I love this about you. And I think it's something so wonderful when we're able to overcome the obstacles that come our way. And while many unfortunately choose to just be bitter and resentful, there are people like you that choose to be grateful and to appreciate the life that they have, even though they had the challenges that they had and they lost loved ones like you have. And I really appreciate you for doing this and for being a light for other people and for uplifting other people,
Thank
even though
you.
you went through those challenges. I think that's amazing.
Well, I think everyone has challenges in life, and there's also people that are so much worse off than we are. And so if you can think about all the things you're grateful for, there's millions of things. I'm speaking for myself. I've had some tragedies in my life, but I've had a million amazing miracles and blessings. And so I really try to focus on that. I just don't see the point of ruining the rest of my life, or making my children, if I'm a disaster emotionally and physically and setting a bad example of being negative and angry, what kind of example is that for my children? It's going to make them be like that. And I don't want that. They've been through enough, and I want them to have healthy, happy, productive lives doing things they're passionate about. So I'm very grateful that I have a job that I love so much, being a makeup artist, but I also love having my company and creating new line and doing these podcasts, speaking about beauty from the inside out and different makeup trends that are going on. And being on NBC on California Live, it's something I never expected to do in my life, but and it made me definitely incredibly uncomfortable at the beginning, but it's also given me great confidence speaking in public, because being on a podcast, we've got this camera thing going on right now. And, at first that was very uncomfortable, but having live TV cameras in front of your face is terrifying. So I've overcome those obstacles, and it's really broadened my world. And so I'm very grateful about that.
Yeah, definitely. When we are pushed to our limits in different ways, we have this option to react either by stopping or not continuing to go forward, or to grow and to embrace everything that's coming actually in our life. And yeah.
I think also my friend Berlin Fisher told me this, like, to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And so now I know when I get to that place where I'm like, oh my God, I'm terrified, I know that some great things are going to happen. And so I didn't ever expect to be writing for magazines either. And I've had that opportunity as well to write for different magazines. And so it's constantly, that's called living. I just watched this. I don't know if you've seen that documentary on Netflix that's out about living to be 100. Have you heard about it?
I have heard about it. I haven't seen it.
It's the Blue Zone. I really recommend it. I started watching it last night, and it was so interesting to hear all these people that have lived, in different places in the world in these blue zones. Like, why is it that they're living to such great, long lives? And a lot of it is laughter, being active, constantly walking. People in the United States, I don't know, the United States, I'm going to speak for my country. We are much too sedentary. We sit at a desk all day, and then we sit in front of a TV. And what was so interesting about those, I'm only on the second episode, but what was so interesting about these people that are living in these villages up on high hills, they're walking every day up these hills to go to church. And one woman was saying, yes, it's my faith that, keeps me going. And then the man said, yes, and her church is at the top of the hill. So every day she's walking up and back to the church. And so it really is, being happy is about being with family and friends and laughing and eating clean, healthy food and exercising and moving. It's just incredibly important. It's not that I need to live to be 100 or 150 years old, but I want to feel good. I want to feel good as I get older. Right before today, I went on a run from my house up in the hills, and I was really lucky. I get to look over at the water and look up at the mountain at Mount Tam. So it just puts my day in such a different perspective when I get up and move around and feel, energetic.
Exactly.
How about you? Do you exercise much?
Yeah, I do, but not as much as I would like to at this point, to be honest. But I'm working on it. I try to do as much as possible. So you've gotten to some really important points, and I wanted to touch on those. I love the fact that you mentioned this idea that we want to live in a certain way. And it's not just about the age, but the way we live each day and the way we enjoy life and the way we feel in our bodies. And it's so true. Like, aside from the fact that we would love to live for 100 or 150 or so, the way we do is important. And I believe, for instance, gratitude is very powerful in that sense that it helps us see the way we live in a different way. And I'm curious to find out more about your perspective on beauty from the inside out. What's your philosophy regarding this?
Well, I think it's super important. Obviously I put makeup on people for TV and fashion, but what makes my job easier is when people take care of themselves. I see if people are getting enough rest, if they're getting exercise, if they're drinking water. If they drink a lot, I can tell. If they smoke, I can tell. If they're just negative, it's like their energy, just how they look on camera is, So I just noticed that I drink a lot of green juice. I eat very healthy. I get enough rest. I exercise. I try to be grateful. I laugh. I'm happy. I have a lot of love in my heart. And I think all of those components are what makes someone beautiful from the inside out. It's, obviously I have makeup skills to make people look amazing, but when someone takes good care of their skin and, moisturizes and keeps out of the sun and uses sunscreen, it makes my job easier. But it also, the camera doesn't lie. When someone's not in a good mood, it can tell. Their eyes don't lie. So part of my job as a makeup artist is when my client comes, I typically I put some aromatherapy on their face for them to breathe and just relax. And then I will massage their hands with some lavender oil to just get, if they have a headache or that, it just kind of gets their face looking a little more alive and it puts them in a good mood. It also kind of connects us because I am right in their face the whole day if we're doing a shoot. So it kind of makes them just a little bit more comfortable and peaceful. And so I really enjoy my job. I love to travel. I love meeting new people, working with a team, and creating beautiful projects. It's such a blessing. And then right now I'm working on I'm Too Busy. I'm doing a 10-series podcast in New York with Jill Nicolini. And it's called I'm Too Busy, our podcast. We're doing 10 sessions of it because it's so much work, as you know, getting guests and everything. So, but creating the new line, I want people to be I hear all the time from people, they say, I don't have enough time to do my makeup, or I go to these department stores and I'm sold a bunch of stuff that I don't know how to use. It doesn't fit with my lifestyle. And I don't like it. I don't know what to do with it. So I've created a skincare line that's 3 steps. You don't need to have 20 steps. The problem is people buy these expensive products that are 10 steps, 19 steps. They don't do it, or they'll do it for a week. So there's no point. I want to make it's consistency. It's consistency with what you eat, what you drink, your rest, all of that. So if I can make their skincare regime 3 steps, do it once or twice a day, your skin's going to just automatically look better. And as for the makeup, I want people it's not that hard. You can do your makeup in 5 minutes. Your skin's ready to go. You put concealer, fill in your brows, do some shadow, some eyeliner, mascara, some cheek, lip, and you're done. And so everyone does have time to look like the best version of themselves. We we exercise to look good. So why wouldn't you want to feel confident and not distracted by going into a meeting and just feeling really good about yourself? And it's not superficial. We're all visual beings. And so if we look like it's energy. If we feel good about ourselves, it's just going to come through in the meeting. And so I wanted to create a line that was going to be, available to people, that they can use quickly, and it's affordable.
Wonderful. I truly believe that this is very impactful for people in general. Like you just mentioned, the fact that we have the small habits, the small things that we're able to do each day correctly they make a huge difference. And when things are simple, they you get them done consistently.
Yes.
If it's too complicated, it's like, okay,
Yeah,
maybe
forget
next
it.
time,
Yeah,
maybe
Nick, I'll do it
tomorrow.
tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. So I
Exactly. Yeah.
don't want to hear about tomorrow's. Like, let's do it today. I am a very disciplined person. I wake up pretty much at the same time. I wake up and do the same routine, the water, the tea, the green juice. I think about things that I'm grateful for. First thing in the morning, I tell myself I'm going to have a great day. At the end of the day, I'm like, thank you. I'm talk about things I'm grateful for in my mind. I also think it just makes life so much more interesting when we're happy and productive and doing things and excited to get up. And so that's kind of what I've been doing. I did a lot of, this summer, I worked with a 6'4" beautiful girl from Stanford. She's a basketball player. So we did some ads for her for New Balance and some protein drinks. And then I worked with Sammy Hagar and Guy Fieri on the new tequila. I work with the networks, Fox and Food Network a lot. So I work with a lot of chefs and, news people. So that's a lot of fun. So I'm always kind of going somewhere, doing something fun right now, working
Yeah.
on this.
I love that. I love that. And I can feel your joy and your gratitude for the work that you're doing, for the life that you have. And one of the people that you've met and you've worked with that I feel is similar from this point of view is Melissa McCarthy. And I'm really curious if it's actually the same or it's just something that I saw in her movies.
No, she's like that in person. Yeah,
Yeah.
I worked with her. I gave her some products. She uses some of my products when she was pregnant.
Wow.
A cream that I created while she was pregnant called Yummy Mummy. And so, yeah, it's fun. I've been so blessed working with all these different celebrities. They've all been amazing and interesting and very professional and nice and not difficult. And it's really a lot of fun. It's like I get to interview them for the day, but I also have to be respectful. Sometimes I have clients that are tired or they need to focus on a script and they don't want to talk. So I'm very respectful on reading their mood. If I can tell, sometimes they want to talk, sometimes they want to hear about my life, sometimes they want silence. And I have to be very respectful of that and just let them kind of have their quiet time.
Of course, they're human too, and it's like with everyone. Sometimes we feel like talking, sometimes we don't, and in many situations we are interested in other people, but in other circumstances we just want to be with our own thoughts. And
Yes.
yeah, makes perfect sense.
Yes.
And I think your philosophy of beauty from the inside out is very powerful, and I think gratitude is very much linked to this, because when we appreciate our body, we take care of it, and usually the things that we appreciate, we take care of. We make sure that they are okay. Have you seen this in your work?
Oh, definitely. I think the people that I work with, their face is their brand. It's kind of like, I kind of have to go to work looking somewhat presentable, because if I can't take care of me, how am I going to take care of someone else? So it is important for them. They're going on TV and they want to look like the best versions of them. They want their skin to look fresh and dewy. They don't want to look matted. I'm also very respectful. It's so interesting. We did a segment on NBC called The Beauty Challenge. And it was for the people that wear a lot of makeup, tone it down a lot. And for the people that don't wear any or very minimal, to take it up a couple notches and see how they feel. And it was so interesting, people's reactions. A lot of people were like emotionally unable to, it's almost like they have a mask and they don't want to show their face. So it's and then the people that wear no makeup at all, just to put enough to look a little bit better, because we all look a little better with, getting rid of the dark circles and the discoloration on our eyes. Everyone has it, men and women. So it was just very interesting to see how emotionally connected people are to the amount of makeup or not makeup that they don't put on.
And that's so powerful, actually, because it's linked to how we feel about ourselves, how we see ourselves, and many of the emotions that we feel, and many of the things that we like or dislike about ourselves. I think they are mirrored by this and by our attitude. And to be honest, I used to be not be a fan of makeup, but it was too much makeup that was the problem. And the fact that it was showing the fact that in many situations people were just trying to overdo it because of other things that were going on inside. And that's why I love your idea of beauty from the inside out, because when you are taking care of yourself, of your body and your mind and your heart, you look differently and you choose a different kind of makeup, right?
Right. And also, makeup's supposed to make you look better. It's not supposed to be distracting. It's not supposed to be like, oh, wow, blue, red, yellow, green. It's not supposed to be like that. It's just supposed to make you look like the best version of you. And so I think if people, don't worry so much about the trends. I mean, it's fun to look on Instagram and TikTok and see what's going on, but that doesn't really work in real life for someone that's a professional. They don't have time to do it. All that stuff that you see, all these makeup tricks and hacks, that is not what happens on a photo shoot. I need to make people look like regular people and not a ton of makeup. When I work with a Gucci or a Louis Vuitton, I get sent very specific instructions from Paris, from their corporate office, of exactly how they want the makeup to look. And it's pretty minimal. They have, they just want it. The fashion is the focal point, not my makeup. So I have to be very respectful of that, or I won't get invited back. So I want to be invited back. So I definitely.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And I think another important part about makeup is the fact that we tend to think that it's something that I don't know. Without it, we're not enough. Like, this is sometimes the perception that people have, especially women, that we have to wear makeup, otherwise we don't feel beautiful. But what I began to understand is it's just an addition. It's something that comes from feeling good and from wanting to play, from wanting to enhance that beauty that you already see in yourself.
Exactly. I mean, it doesn't need to be a ton. It's just, whatever you feel comfortable with. So, and whatever you have time for as well, of course, and your lifestyle. I don't think how is anyone going to have brand loyalty? I don't think by having, I understand, I run a business. You're bringing out new products and you want to sell it, but you're not going to get brand loyalty if you're selling your customers products that they don't need, don't fit their lifestyle, and they don't know how to use. A lot of these women don't know how to do the contouring. They don't have time, and it's not appropriate for everyday life to do it subtly. And that takes some skill. And a lot of people don't have the skill or the time. So I think that I want to get brand loyalty from my clients because they know that I'm selling them products. As a mother, as a business person, as a makeup artist, I'm selling them things that they need, not what they don't need.
Exactly. And it's actually an art form.
It definitely is. It definitely is.
And working with different colors and contrasts and things of this nature, it's something that you either have as a gift or you need to learn, right?
Yes. Well, I also, makeup, you're not really supposed to see it. So for example, people ask, how do I pick the correct foundation color? The right color is not darker, not lighter. it actually disappears into your skin. So when you pick the right colors that are like your neutral colors that are in your natural palette of your hair color, your eyes, your skin, it all blends and you don't really see anything that's sticking out, like, something bright, like, that we do sometimes on fashion. In fashion, in Paris, it's fun. They're walking down the catwalk and they have tons of glamorous, dramatic makeup, but that's appropriate for that situation. That's not always appropriate for the everyday person that's just living life.
That's so true. And I'm curious if you have like an experience in which one of your clients was really, really happy, really, really grateful for your help with the makeup, for how it changed the way she saw herself.
That's an interesting question. I get a lot of people actually are very grateful after I do the transformations on them, but one particular stands out. A 14-year-old girl about a year and a half ago named Ivy. She came for a makeup lesson and I taught her just some basic skills of the correct foundation, how to do her eyes, and it transformed her. She just blossomed. And I was telling her about, dream big. Like, what do you want to be? What do you want to do with your life? Like, we just kind of had this amazing connection. 2 weeks later, she called me and said, "You're not going to believe this. I felt so good about myself after our meeting that I applied to a study abroad program and I got it. And I'm going to Prague for 2 weeks to study art." And she said, "I never would have done this without you. And I'm so grateful because it did change my life. I learned to get comfortable being uncomfortable and dreaming big." So that it feels really good to hear something like that from people.
Definitely. I can only imagine how it felt hearing those words and that appreciation. And yeah, I love it. And by the way, who are some people in your life right now that you're grateful for?
My children, my boyfriend, Steve, very grateful for him. He fills my heart. I'm grateful for my agents and my brothers and sisters, my dad, and my friends. I've got so many people I'm grateful for. My puppy, I have a lot of amazing people in my life that I love and that love me. And it makes life just so special.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I could feel just by the way you were thinking about them while saying their names that you really appreciate having them in your life and in your heart.
Yes.
I love that.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. So we are nearing the end of our time together, and I wanted to ask you, where can our listeners get in touch with you? Where can they find more about you, about your products?
You can find me at ChristinaFlach.com, PrettyGirlMakeup.com, and I'mTooBusy.co. And on Instagram, Christina Flach Makeup, Pretty Girl Makeup, PrettyGirlNkup, and I'm Too Busy Cosmetics and Skincare.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having me. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you. Hey, Gratitude Seeker, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this interview. I really appreciate it. And if you could think of one person that would also benefit from it, share it with them. It might actually be the inspiration that they need to make their day or maybe even their life much better. Thank you so much once again. This has been Georgian Benta. Don't forget to keep seeking and spreading gratitude.